Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Volatility Report. It is I, Andrew Giovinazzi, Chief Operating Officer of OptionFit.com, welcoming you to said report on non-farm payroll Friday. No, not Friday. Yes, Friday. Our Option Pit Iron Condor class is this Saturday, tomorrow morning, 9:30 start time, Eastern time. Everything you wanted to know about Iron Condors, putting them on trading, also talking about which products they work better in, ways to try to generate some dollars out of them, all that kind of stuff. We'll be talking about that tomorrow. All right, also, I think we have a couple spots left for our Trader Summit in June. And with that, let's get to what is going on. We had a pretty good unemployment number. And as you can see, whoops, that's Apple. VIX, we need stats. Let's see here. Let's just take a look at the futures real fast. We've got a little the May 17th, this back month stuff. Now, okay, everything's settled. Not much movement. Not much movement into, you see some of the contracts here trading. You only got about a nickel or dimes for the movement. We probably won't see much movement in the futures at least until tomorrow, or I'm sorry, on Monday, when after this election is over. Oil seems to be bouncing just a little. That might give the market a little lift. We have a lot of the big earnings that are out. It seems like, sort of the fanfare around whatever the healthcare stuff is, it's kind of not really transitioning to the market. Although one thing that's really moving today, one is IBM. They're cutting their stake. Buffett cut their stake by a third. And, of course, Tesla's trying to rebound like crazy. So the old is still old and the new is still new. Not much else to say about that. It usually, Tesla after earnings tends to drift a little bit, but right now it's trying not to drift. Most of all of the big stocks, save Apple, the big tech names. Facebook is kind of hanging in there. Amazon has pulled back a little bit from its highs. Apple is on its way. I believe right now it's making new highs. So there's still some strength in those, but at least for this week, it feels like the market's had kind of a big run. It might be a little tired with the Qs. I believe we are still at an all-time high. No, 137.49. So we got a little bit more. We're just off the highs there. So I don't expect much more to happen with VIX. Shockingly, into this European election stuff, it was such a big deal last year. It was a big deal even 2 weeks ago. The market is expecting very little. Now, there is some plays that we looked at yesterday that we will visit today now that the employment number is out. The biggest thing I'm looking for is when the market ever finds the oil sector again. It has had if you just look at the XOP from the beginning of the year, down about 25% or so. Compared to, literally the polar opposite. The Q's up, 15% or something like that since the beginning of the year. Just a pretty huge move. So when, when oil gets off the mat, so to speak, somehow higher prices push some production up, at least in the U.S., so we'll see. Maybe there's a little bit of sliding around. Commodities are still very weak. We'll look around for some plays and stuff like FCX, stocks that have moved quite a bit. For a commodity stock, this thing, Freeport McMoran, moves quite a bit. It's definitely not this kind of the stodgy old name that it used to be, not even close. So I think there's some opportunities there. So with the market at all-time highs, I want to find some things that have a shot to really make some moves. So Let's just see how it prices. So we'll take a look at that in our chat room today for a little bit. And with that, I don't expect a lot more out of VIX into the weekend. Again, you could take a look at the volatility products, but my guess is you could take a picture of them here, and they will be within a dime on the close, just because there's an event, and in an event we wait. And with that, I will talk to you all later. All right, everybody, I will be back in a few minutes. We've got a couple things that we're going to have to look at. We have to deal with our Tesla position, and we have to deal. There's nothing much to deal with IBM, but it does make our 60 spread looks toast, at least for right now, and we'll investigate both those. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.